Are you guys having fun? I want you guys to meet Kathy. She's the proprietor of this bar. Give it up for Kathy and Duff. The reason we're able to give you guys a free comedy show is we do this show for free $99 in exchange for a 2-item minimum. So make sure that you've had your 2 drinks or food items with Kathy and Melissa, and we will keep the show rolling. Our next comic has credits. Hold on. Are you guys ready for your headliner? Our headliner is open for national headliners up and down the Mid-Atlantic states. He's just back from Salem, Massachusetts Comedy Festival and recently headlined in Columbia, Maryland. Columbia, Maryland. He's from Philadelphia. And his name... I know it as just for dramatic effect.
Look it up first.
Contains letters.
And his name is Pat Rocchi!
Thank you, Anthony, for memorizing that introduction. All right. Are you the one with PTSD? Oh, man. I like just doubled the average age in this room. Look at me. I know you're disappointed. I can see it on all your faces. You already had a beautiful young woman, a great young comic, and now you get me, your dad's lab partner from last year. Look at me. I look like some kind of a scientific experiment. I look like a genetic mashup of Mitt Romney and Keith Richards. I have a decrepit body, but I put a suit over it. It's really tough being the oldest comic on these bills. I feel really out of place all the time. When I'm backstage with them, they're on their iPads, they're on their iPhones. I'm on Medicare. You know, I didn't always used to look this way. I used to be cute. I'd walk into a place like this. You women would have looked at me at one time and said, ooh, I wonder if he's available. Now you look at me and say, I wonder if he's even insurable. And I'm not. I'm in terrible shape. I see some people in shape here. I see some people who tend to, I have a feeling, eat here a lot too, with this health food that they have here. But let me, now you look, you work out?
Oh, all the time.
All the time, yeah, I can tell. I can tell. You ever run? You ever jog or anything like that?
I have, sure.
Oh, that's
Done an Ironman.
He did an Ironman. That's very good. They say if you're they say if you're in good shape when you run, you should be able to talk. Oh, when I run, I talk. I say things like, call 911. Where's the nearest hospital? Oh, you know, my life has come to, this is what you have to look forward to, folks, you know, as you get older, you know. Collect Social Security and then come out and have people laugh at you so you can buy a carton of eggs at the inflated price. Yeah, I just recently hit the big 7-0.
Wow.
Yeah, don't applaud. It's not that great. I mean, nobody wants to be this old. You know, the best thing about it is I'm like 70% of the way to one of those big-ass cards you can get for a 100-year-old at Rite Aid, and get one of those for people. You know, what my life has come to recently was one of my biggest thrills was finding a new primary physician. As soon as I walked in, she prescribed an autopsy for me. And she said, you know, we're all old, decaying structures. Well, thank you, Dr. Kevorkian. Why don't you just give me an injection right now? So, hey, how do you like our comics so far? They've been great. And Charlie. And James, I want to thank you for your service. You put a lot of time in. James, I didn't serve. I came of age during the Vietnam era, but I wasn't taken. I was classified 1P at the time. Yeah, 1P. They didn't take me because basically I'm a pussy. Yeah, doctor examined me and said, doctor said, you can't take this man, he's definitely a pussy. He can't walk, he won't, he'll prance, he can't march. Hey, congratulations for making it through the pandemic. Yeah, we all made it. We all made it. And I show of hands here, I'm real curious about something. I'm real curious about something. How many people had their lives threatened during the last 3 years when you were home, stuck in a house with them? No? Oh, you're better off than I am. My wife and I, it got tense. It was a little bit too much togetherness during that time. I got so mad that I said, look, I've had it. I'm out of here. She said, you promised me till death do us part. And I said, well, I may exercise the death clause in that contract. On the other hand, when you're home a lot, it gives you an opportunity to spice up your marriage, like find little games to play. Like, I'm the Domino's man, and I come to deliver the pizza, and she pretends she doesn't have any money. And I said, oh, Mrs. Rocchi, this isn't going to pay for itself. And she says, oh, Mr. Domino's man, I am hot and salty like your pizza. You know, one of the things I talked about was being in really bad shape. You know, my body is like an old car that you have to take into the shop a lot for maintenance. The maintenance on a 1952 Italian is really time-consuming. You know, I wondered about that. When I thought about that, I thought, what would Consumer Reports say about me if I was a used car and they had to review me? Let me see, 1952 Italian, where am I in here? Predicted reliability lower than average. Fuel injection is sluggish, well-padded back seat, a tendency to leak fluid. Yes, that's me. That's me. One of the things I hated about being home was having to watch TV and streaming services all the time. It reminded me how much I hate commercials. One of the commercials I hate is it comes on before the morning news, that bratty kid for Huntington Learning System, and you had that bratty kid. Yeah, you're nodding your head. Did you have some of your kids there?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's good.
I know the commercial though.
That's it. Oh yeah, the kid's stupid. And her mother wants to send her to Huntington. She said to her mother, oh, face it, I'm not getting into college. I'm thinking, yeah, no shit. I figured out when you didn't get into acting school either. And while we're at it, can we do something about that guy with the skeevy little porn star mustache that sells my pillow? Oh. Yeah, exactly. I don't have any objection to Mike Lindell. I have no objection to the product. I hate the name. It's so confusing when you're my age with that. My wife and I are making the bed, and she said, put the My Pillow on your side. I said, well, shouldn't I put my pillow on my side? And she said, no, it's not my pillow. It's not your pillow, it's my pillow, but it's your pillow. Well, is it my pillow or is it your pillow? Make up your fucking mind. You know? And another thing I really hate being older is watching a young world through old eyes. I have a question to ask people who are closer to me in age. When did ED become entertainment? Have you seen those commercials? They start off with this phony, happy music all the time. The music itself could make a man soft. And they show these women doing things that are supposed to be so adorable, and their men just love them. And they're so obnoxious, they would be grounds for justifiable homicide in real life. They're in a restaurant together, and she takes food off his plate. Or she has to put her shoe on, and so she goes across the floor putting her shoe on, and the man's looking at her. Oh, I just love her so much. Or she's painting, and she gets paint in her nose. Or she's baking, and she gets flour on her nose. Apparently the people who write these commercials think that something on a woman's nose is an aphrodisiac. Oh, honey, you got something on your nose? I'm ready. I'm ready for you. And then they show the husbands off to the side looking very lovingly at them. And I know what the guys are really thinking. They're thinking, oh, honey, you think I need a pill because of my health, but the real reason I can't get it for you is because you're so fucking annoying. And you see these guys in these commercials, buff, middle-aged, not real gray, just a little touch of gray on the side, like this gentleman here. And somebody who works out, like this gentleman. These middle-aged Adonises aren't the ones who get ED. Show me a guy who looks like your own. Yeah. You said that really fast. You know, it's like, yeah. Anybody else want to take a bullet with this guy? Geez, hey, you're pretty brave. So those middle-aged Adonises aren't the ones who get ED. Show me a guy like your old governor, Chris Christie. The guy is so fucking fat, he hasn't even seen his own dick for the last 7 years. And you have the side effects of the medicine. Do not take if you get shortness of breath, dandruff, bad breath. Forget it, I'll just go fishing. It's not like sex is a big part of my life because I've been married for early in February. I've been married for 44 years. It's not that great. It's not that great. It's kind of like,
It's pretty great.
you know, like, what's that?
It's pretty great.
Have you been married that long?
Not that long. 33.
Put in 11 more years. Put in 11 more years and tell me how you feel. Like, what do you think is the secret of a long marriage?
We have separate.
You have separate lives? Is that what it is? Separate bedrooms? Separate homes? What is it?
Dave has his office with his video games, and I have the rest of the house.
That's a good deal. Oh man. Now people ask me what it is, and I say, well, it's give and take. My wife gives me a lot of shit. And if I'm smart, I'll take it. Oh, she's been, you know, it's like the vows I took were, will you love, honor, and annoy this woman? She's been real rough during the pandemic. I mean, she said to me, wear your mask. You know, I don't want the virus to kill you. That's my job. One day she looked at me and she said, is that skin tag on your nose bothering you? I said, well, no, actually, it's not. She said, well, it's bothering me. Take care of it. So the stupid thing is, I have to go to the doctor because something on my face is bothering my wife. The doctor comes in, he examines me, and says, I have one of those. I said, you have a skin tag on your nose? He said, no, I have a wife that nags me too. Oh, this is what we've come to. And welcome to Duff McDuff tonight. What kind of bullshit Irish name is that? Was Seamus Shillelagh taken? Just throwing darts and Duff McDuff. Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah. Welcome to Blarney Begala. I don't know what it is. So anyway, in case you thought you didn't hear properly, my name is Rocchi. It was a great name to have about 40-some years ago. Yeah, it really was. In fact, it was around the time we were getting married. It really influenced our wedding at the time. You know, now, I was a typical guy at the time. It's like, I would have been content to go into the woods and be married by a bear. But she was making the plans, and she said, wouldn't it be fun if we came into the Rocchi theme? Because that's a whoopee method Rocchi. And I said, okay, it sounds good. Then she did me one better. She hired a ring announcer. And now, presenting to you, reverse time. Miss or Mrs. Rocchi. Yeah, I'm sick of that fucking music. been hearing it my whole life. And then she went all out at that point. Wedding party ran up the Art Museum steps. We toasted with a glass of raw eggs. Went a little bit too far, pushed the cake in her face, and she decked me. And then we promptly had our kid Rocchi too. How many people here are parents? You 33 years, your parents? Sorry. Let me tell you, if I get a little tip for parents, your kids will turn on you. They will turn on you at some point. They're going to think you're the stupidest person. My kid comes up to me and says, "When did you stop being cool?" I said, "September 25th. He said, "That's my birthday." I said, "Yeah, that's when I stopped being cool, when I had to start taking care of your sorry ass." Took him to Sears. I said, pick out the lawnmower you want. "Why do you expect me to mow the lawn?" So why do you think I even had you? I can't wait for you to get beer for me. If you have kids, if you ever have kids, I say, try to fuck with their heads as much as possible. I do everything I can, doing like old white dad embarrassing things just to embarrass them. Let me give you a little prop. This is really easy. You take a cap and you put it on backwards. And he says, "Dad, you're not going out like that, are you?" And then I pull my white dad shtick. Yo, I have to meet up with my homies. Yeah. That's good for 20 minutes of him hiding in his bedroom. So, yeah, the kids don't like to hear about their parents having sex. That's another way to to fuck with their heads a little bit. One day, my kids were in our bedroom for something, and they noticed that I had a graduation gown in there. And this is a true story. They had a graduation gown. See, what happened was when I was in my late 40s, I got an MBA, and I kept a gown because after all those years, I wanted a memento of the time and money I put into it. So the kids are looking up and they say, "Dad, why do you have a graduation gown?" I look over at my wife, and she sees the evil glint in my eye, and I said, "It's a story. It's a game your mother and I play. I'm the professor." Oh, it gets worse. I'm the professor, and she's the student and has to make extra credit. And they go, "Oh, this is so gross." I said, "I guess you don't want to hear how she did in her orals then, do you?" Yeah, they're in their 30s, and with the counseling, we got along well now. Another thing, though, I have to advise you, if you have kids, you got to have the sex talk with them as soon as possible. You really have to do that. I had to have the talk with my son when he was 7. I had to have it that. He went into school one day and he went up to his teacher and he said, "Hey, looking good in that dress." Problem was, it was a Catholic school. And, Sister Charles Bronson was not in a good mood that day, so they called us in, and I said, "I got to have a talk with him." A lot of people default to the schools, and they let them learn in the health ed class. But the problem with the health ed class is you're in there with people of the opposite gender, and then you hear phrases that are so embarrassing to hear when you're a boy and you're with girls in the class. A woman's body prepares for childbirth every month, and that's called menstruation. Oh. And if a boy has nocturnal emissions, that's called a wet dream. And if he causes the wet dreams himself, that's called masturbation. No, I didn't default to the schools. I decided to do it myself. And I was very efficient. I was a communications manager when I was in the corporate world. And I was very, very efficient with it. I had a tablet ready to draw pictures. I had a flip chart ready. Maybe the PowerPoint was overkill a little bit. Let's see, son. The blood will flow when you see Mary Lou from here down to here. And it'll happen faster for you because you're Italian. And one day he's listening to me, and he looks at me, and a look of recognition comes over his face. And it dawned on him, you do these things to my mother? I'll kill you in your sleep, you rat bastard. So, hey, I like the town of Waterford. One thing I really like is the diversity in this room is really incredible. Oh, yeah. It's like playing pool with only the cue balls. You know? I don't want to make you people feel bad, you know. It's not that I have anything against white people. A couple of weeks I'll be spending Easter with a bunch of white people. But with a black audience, you get a level of participation you don't get with a normal white audience, you know? And you know where you hear it? You hear it when you go to a movie, especially a horror movie, because they'll talk back to the screen. Watching a werewolf movie, and the girl goes around the back, and the werewolf is back there, and we know it, but the girl doesn't know it in the movie. But all of a sudden, this woman jumps up and says, "Oh, what the fuck you go back there for?" And then they're running. The hero and his girlfriend are running down the subway platform. Hi, how are you? Are running down the subway platform, and she trips. She always trips. She could be Jessica Chastain, but it's like, well, I see you won an Academy Award, but can you trip? Yeah, okay, you're in our movie. And so she trips, and a guy jumps up in the first row and says, "Ain't no time to be falling down now." That's the kind of participation I get. So, you know, I would appreciate hearing that from all of you. So, excuse me. Got hydrated at my age. So I became a grandfather recently for the second time, and you know, I don't have patience with my own kids. So I don't have patience for new kids now. Give you an example. My wife and I are walking our older grandson, and he decides he doesn't want to walk anymore. So he pulls this bullshit from the little kid playbook. He goes and lies down on the sidewalk and says, "I don't want to walk anymore." And she's bending over talking to him, and I'm leaving. And she says, You can't just leave him here. I said, watch me. I took out my cell phone, I took a picture, I texted it to his parents. If you want to find him, he's at 21st in Ohio. I'll be in a moment, have a beer ready for him. And since we're talking about family, let me tell you about the other girl in my life, in addition to my wife and my daughter, my mom. Yeah, if I'm on Medicare and Social Security, you can imagine how fucking old she is. She's going to be 93 in June, and some of the neurons have retired. Yeah, they have. You know, she gives me the worst advice when we're in the car. We're driving down the road, and she tries to be helpful. She says, "Oh, look, dear, the bridge ices before the road." I said, "Mom, we're going to a 4th of July picnic." Tell me again when we're going to the Pollyanna. Or she made reservations at a Japanese restaurant, and then she forgot where the restaurant was. And so we're driving around, and she's trying to help out, but we're lost. We can't find this restaurant. She said, "That looks like a place where you could get sushi, dear." I said, "Well, you're close, Mom. It's Japanese, but it's a Suzuki dealership, so I don't think so." And some of my siblings decided it was a good idea to put her on social media. And she gets all the names wrong. You know, it's not bad when she mixes up Facebook. She calls it book face. And she goes, "No, I was on my book face today." She said, "My book face, so it's funny." Twitter is a little worse. She calls it her twatter. She goes, I was on my twatter today. But I drew the line when she bragged about being on Snatch Trap. And I said, Mom, it's Snapchat. Please don't say Snatch Trap. It sounds like a website for predators. But I'm going to tell you something about our moms. Our moms were tough in their day. My mom had 6 kids. Quick, what religion am I? That's it. Yeah, you're a little slow on the uptake. Yeah, Catholic, after everybody else said it.
We're all siblings. Raise your hand if you're a sibling.
Yeah, you mean siblings with each other or sibling period?
All
All
together.
my siblings are dead.
Anyway, our moms were tough. Our moms were tough. And my mom was tough. She had 6 of us. She pushed 6 of us out of her body. She fed us. She clothed us. She wiped our little baby asses. You know what she and my father did without? A gender reveal party. There are fires raging in California because of gender reveal parties. You know, when they had their gender reveal party, in the delivery room when we came out. Yeah, hey, it's a vagina. We have a wedding to pay for in 20 years. And I told you I was in communications for a long time. My mom and I are collaborating on a TV show that we're going to market to seniors. I guarantee you it's going to be a hit because it's going to address the main concern of seniors. The name of the show is Guess Who's Dead? And this is the way you play. You can play with your own parents or grandparents in some cases. You turn on the cable station and wait till the big band channel came on, and they'll start the game for you. So music comes on. Who's that guy? Smell Termaine, Mom. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead, Mom. To wait a little bit more. Who's that guy? It's Rosemary Clooney, Mom. Is she dead? Yeah, she's dead, Mom. I just saw her on White Christmas over the holidays. She came, Mom, that movie's 65 years old. Believe me, she's dead. And then there's the daily double in our game. That's when there's 2 people singing and maybe one of them is dead. Who's that, Pat? It's like in Tina Turner, Mom. Are they dead? Well, she's alive, Mom, but he's dead. So that's the TV show, Guess Who's Dead. Then there's a home version of Guess Who's Dead. That's when Mom calls me in the middle of the day to announce it to me. Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, hi, Pat. Guess Who's Dead? So now my job is to figure out who was closest to death before the phone call. Was it Aunt Philomena, Mom? Ding, 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 ding. You just won the Samsonite luggage. Now, for the trip to Puerto Vallarta, guess who just had a biopsy? So, hey, I'm looking around this town here. It looks like a really small town. Do you have much shopping to do here? Like, for instance, where do you folks get your groceries around here? I didn't see anything from here. ShopRite? Oh, okay. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear because I wish for you. Would you like to get through that? Let's make fun of her when she's gone. Because I'm glad you don't have to rely on a Whole Foods, or as I call it, holy shit, did you see how much that costs? I did buy an avocado there recently, and it's on layaway until the home equity went up. You know, the thing I hate about, they're so pretentious at Whole Foods. They have all this, they try to appeal to hipsters, and so they use all these current terms when they're working. And they say, this woman's talking to me and said, look at this food here. It's farm to table. It's cruelty free. It's organic. I was in the bakery section looking at a donut. And when I was walking out, I noticed there was a sign. There was a sign for salad kits there. And I thought to myself, Sears used to sell kits to build houses. Now We need kits to build salads. Welcome to the dumbing down of America, folks. Yeah, really. I mean, don't dumb down. Smarten up. You won't buy anything. I noticed that they had these frying pans that were this big, and they said, it's perfect for frying one egg. You know what else is perfect for frying one egg? A regular size frying pan. Don't dumb down, smarten up. People will buy anything. Do you ever buy water at Whole Foods? You can get multi-flavor probiotic water. You can get lemon lime probiotic water. You can get multi-lemon berry probiotic water fortified with vitamins. When we were all kids and we were out playing with our friends and we wanted to drink, what flavor did we have? Oh, that's right.
Rubber.
That's right, and we all made it here today. The big box stores. Do you have anything like a Costco around here? Yeah. No? You're saying, oh, I hear a mixed opinion here. I like Costco. I personally like it. I like it, but come on through. Would you like to come through? Yeah, that's here for the lady. I like any place where I can get lawn chairs, vinyl siding, and tartar sauce all under one. And as long as we're talking about Costco, let's talk about its dirty-minded little brother, BJ's. Folks, I mentioned to you, I got a master's degree and it was an MBA in marketing. I want to ask the question, who the fuck thought it was a good idea to name a store after fellatio? Honest to God, I was working in a store, in a company once, and BJ's came in to offer free memberships. An email went out that read, BJ's for free in the cafeteria. Yeah. Half the men walked off the factory floor before HR pulled that email. And I saw the menu here, and the menu here is, this is real health food here, boneless wings and everything, but no Italian that I could see. Is there an Italian restaurant near
There's
here?
pasta on there.
What is it?
There's pasta on there.
Pasta? Oh, there's pasta in here? That doesn't work in with my routine. No, we're supposed to say, no, you can't get it here. I just hope you don't have to depend on an Olive Garden, because I am Italian. I consider it a crime against the nation of Italy to have an Olive Garden around. Let me put it to you this way: if eating at Olive Garden thinking you've had Italian, it's like eating Lucky Charms and thinking you've celebrated St. Patty's Day. They say, when you're here, you're family. And it's true. An old woman came out of the kitchen, hit me with a wooden spoon, and said, why do you call more often? When are you going to make me a grandmother? The guy with a wife beater sat next to me and asked me to pay his check. Yeah, it sounds like family. So, look, I'm up here, making my crankcase, my justifying it being cranky at my age. It's really not that bad. In 70 years, I traveled around the sun 41 billion miles. And in that time, I learned a few things. And I learned to leverage my age. For instance, I recently canceled all my magazine subscriptions. I'm in a doctor's office so often, I just read the magazines there. Or during the summer, you have people here who are tatted up. People admire the snake. The tattoo of the snake on my legs during the summer. They don't have to know what's my varicose veins. But for you younger guys here, I want to tell you all what you have to look forward to as you age. I kind of compare my sex life to movie franchises. This is what you have to look forward to, because at the beginning, it's the Fast and the Furious. You get in there, it's over a little bit too quickly. Give it a few years. When you hit your middle years, you're Iron Man. But now at age 70, 44 years of marriage, it's Mission Impossible. So, Pat Rocchi from Philadelphia, folks, thanks for welcoming me in Waterford. Anthony, Thanks for having me.
It was my pleasure. Give it up again for Pat Rocchi, everybody. All right, well, let's hear it for all of our comics. Charlie Gilbert, James Mack, Kate Laverne. Guys, we're going to be back here. We're going to be back here on April 22nd. This is important information. We're going to be back here April 22nd. I've been dying to get Paul Carson in front of you. You guys are going to absolutely love him. Charlie, will you come back and do a feature set for us next month? Didn't you guys love Charlie Gilbert? Like, I found him in a fucking trash can. He's fucking amazing. And Kate Laverne is also going to be back because as I move my glorious performances and abilities to the shore for the summer, my very good friend Kate Laverne is going to be taking over the show. So come on out here, Kate. Guys, come again and see Kate next month. And then, moving forward with the May show and stuff, you're going to be seeing more of Kate's friends. So thanks again for coming. Kate, you got anything to say?
Well, pay your bills and tip me.
Thanks again for coming, guys. We'll see you next month.